Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's Russell with Ink and Paper Blog. How are you doing today? I am back at Green Apple Books on the Park and John is back. He is here to recommend actually a lot of new titles today.
Yes, yeah.
Super exciting. So he's got six books to talk to you guys about. So we're going to get started. Welcome back.
Excellent. Thank you for having me. Yeah, thanks for coming by.
Yeah. So where are we going to start today?
So we're going to start with Milkweed Editions. This book by Richard, and I'm not sure if I can say it right, but Wagamese. Canadian author. It's just an excellent book. One of my favorite of the year, I can say, I think. Already, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's a pretty dark subject matter. It's a Native American protagonist, and he is in a religious boarding school and suffers some abuses there, but he has a talent for hockey.
Oh.
And it's a really great sports writing novel, but that kind of, it's not really that genre also. It's just an excellent, story of struggle and also, the mistreatment of, of people by,
So what's the, we always say, what's the trigger warning if people have an issue with?
Oh gosh, I mean, there's so many in that. So, I don't want to like the trigger warning would be a spoiler, so I don't want to
okay. So just know that it may have something a little bit dark in it, and if that's not for you. But if you're a fan of my channel, I only read dark books. So that is Indian Horse by Richard Wagamese.
I believe, yeah.
We're gonna say. I am always looking for Canadian authors, so that was super exciting.
And that was totally a discovery one for me. I hadn't heard of him, and the press wrote me, and they're like, "You should check this book out." And so I was like, "Yes, let's do it."
That's awesome. Let's bring something new to the
A nice
table.
surprise.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's next?
So we have next Border Districts by Gerald Murname, an Australian author. Always rumored to be a favorite for the Nobel Prize, although this year they apparently aren't giving one out.
There's no Nobel Prize this year, yes.
But he is kind of getting a little bit more mainstream, I think. People are tossing his name around.
Okay.
It's definitely a heady book, almost Proustian, I think, and just an old person kind of ruminating on his life, and awesome writing about things like memory and recollection and all of these things, and nostalgia is a big theme in it. But it's definitely like some run-on sentences and some crazy paragraphs, and you'll just go like head first into it.
It wouldn't be a Green Apple on the Park's book recommendation video without Proust being mentioned by either John or Noah. So there you go. So this is Border Districts by Gerald Murname?
Yes.
I really like that cover.
It's a great cover. FSG has some awesome covers, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Yeah.
And now the next one, we're all going to know this.
We all know how to say her name. Rachel Kushner has a new book out. It just came out this week. It's called The Mars Room, and it's from Scribner. And funnily enough, we're actually having Rachel Kushner here in the store later in the month, Monday, May 21st.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that should be a big event. We have like over 100 books on hand. We're expecting it to be a big
because
celebration.
Rachel Kushner wrote The Flamethrowers,
The Flamethrowers,
which was a huge success.
Yeah. So ever since that, which came out I think maybe 5 years ago, 5 or 6, give or take. She's just been a huge name, and everybody's been waiting for the next one to come out.
Yeah.
And this one is fantastic. It's in large part set in women's correctional facilities.
Oh, awesome.
And I know that Rachel Kushner spent a long time researching, going into these places, talking to people. So it really rings true. You can tell she's done her homework.
Well, and she's got a realism to her anyway, right? So that's kind of her thing.
And one of the most fascinating things about it, I think, is that while we're talking about people who are in prison, she's talking about them in a way that she's not like passing judgment or anything. She's being very objective and kind of telling a story that's inherently sympathetic and empathetic as well. So,
oh, that's awesome! And she's going to be here again on
Monday, May 21st.
So if you are in the area, you should definitely come check out Rachel Kushner. And her new book is called The Mars Room. This thing is getting a huge buzz.
Yeah.
For
sure. The next book I'm going to talk about, I think I was telling you before,
I'm super excited.
It's already
about
one of
this
my favorite collections. I'm a sucker for short stories as is, but this one is A Lucky Man by Jamel Brinkley. And this is from Grey Wolf, and just fantastic short stories. Definitely kind of the subject matter, I would say, mainly is like father-son relationships.
Oh, okay.
Like distant father, kind of son maybe doesn't know much about his father's life, and kind of discovering things through like people who knew him, or the mother, or things like that. So family dynamics are a big portion of this book. But he's just got a way with characters where he'll be writing about, you know, something a character is doing or thinking, and in your head you're like, well, it's, you know, kind of weird for him to be doing, and, you know, this is like seedy behavior, but he does it in a way that where you can kind of understand the reasoning behind it in kind of a messed up backwards way.
Wow.
So how he embodies these characters, I think, is, you know, the strongest staying point of the collection.
So on Twitter, this book has been getting so much praise, and I'm super excited to get my hands on it. So that's A Lucky Man by Jamel
Brinkley.
Brinkley.
Yeah.
And it's a short story collection, so, you know, those of you that love short stories, there you go.
Yeah.
So we have
Excellent.
two more, and I'm actually super excited to have you talk about the next one, because I almost bought it last time I was here.
Well, you should buy it this time. This one is from Restless Books. It's called Moonbrow, and following in the tradition of difficult pronunciation names. Shahriar Mandanipour, I believe, my attempt at pronunciation there. An Iranian novelist. I believe he's actually living here in the States now, if I'm remembering correctly. But the premise of this book is absolutely insane. It's set during and after the Iran-Iraq War, and our protagonist, Amir, returns from war. He has a spell in a psych ward, and he's lost his memory and mind partially.
Okay.
And he's also lost his arm through being at the front. And so his sister plays a big role in this, and kind of trying to rediscover his past. And there's a beloved that he's kind of like remembers bits and pieces of in dreams, but he's like, I have no recollection in my waking life. And so it's kind of this journey with his sister and other family members to kind of piece back together his past. And if that weren't enough, it's narrated by an angel of virtue and an angel of sin on his left and right shoulders, and so you're kind of getting different takes on each episode in his life as they're, you know, running through Tehran.
Fascinating.
It's nuts. It's wild.
Well, and I don't know if I've read a lot of Iranian literature.
I haven't either. I think this
think
might
I
have
could-
been the first
Yeah.
book.
Yeah, so I'm not going to try to pronounce that name. You know how I am. So this is Moonbrow, and I'm just going to hold it up there for you guys. But that sounds great. That may need to go into my take-home
beautiful
pile
cover
here.
as well there. Yeah,
Okay, and last but not least?
Last, we're going to end with some nonfiction. So this one is from Reaction Books. It's called Hinterland by Phil Neel.
Let's go ahead and hold it up there.
Finally, an easy to pronounce name, right? Phil Neel. So this one, I think when Hillbilly Elegy came on the scene a couple of years ago, which is now out in paperback. It just came out like finally.
I know
they held back on that.
Yeah.
So when that one came out, that one was, you know, it was during the election year, and people kind of it became a big hit. But whereas that one's kind of, I feel like, you know, a straight memoir, and it kind of had you know, time working on its side. It was a very timely book. This one's kind of Hillbilly Elegy, but more academic.
Oh, okay.
He's talking about these rural places in America. Less from the personal side, but way more like research heavy. You know, talking about the income inequality gap, you know, of America and class, and you know, the kind of things that we're, you know, dealing with right now in this political climate. But I think it is apolitical in a way. Like, it's not, you know, coming down on one side or the other. It's merely presenting you with the reality of the picture of these hinterland places in rural America.
Pretty readable?
Definitely readable. Yeah. Even though I said kind of academic, I think it's definitely accessible. And it's knowledge that I think, you know, people who are reading more political books will want to have.
Okay.
You know?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's called Hinterland, America's New Landscape of Class and Conflict by Philip Neel. That sounds really good. And this is from the Brooklyn Rail.
Brooklyn Rail, Reaction Books. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really, really good.
Interesting.
Excellent. Yeah.
Well, that is 6 recommendations from John.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being back on
Thank you
my
again.
channel.
Yeah,
you guys just remember, if you go online, there is a code down below where you can get 10% off. And anywhere in the US, they ship for 99 cents. And if you come into the store and talk to John, they'll also give you the 10% discount. So let's do that. Support Green Apple Books and Green Apple Books on the Park. And until next time, John, thanks for being here.
Awesome. Thank you, Russell.
See you guys later.